And welcome back to another building video. Today we're going to be building the Zeon's Rush Gundam Assemble set. It's going to have Char's Zaku and two Zaku 2s, one with a bazooka and one with a heat hawk. Let me just get this open. Hope you guys are liking this Gundam Assemble series. We have to get through building them first before we paint them. I know you guys are probably like, just paint them! I want to see it painted! Don't worry, we'll get there. So we got the deck. And we got this, so we're gonna grab out of here. We'll also grab the instructions, because they came with instructions. Who would have thought? You know, this day and age, things don't come with instructions anymore. And they're coming with instructions, so that's awesome, because they are a model company. Not like these other companies that are just like, you know, you guys can figure it out. So here is our paper. Also might have made a mistake in the last video, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, but maybe don't glue them to their bases. If you look at the preview videos for the game for Gundam Assemble, you'll see that they're on hexagonal bases. And these bases are circles, so if you want to maybe wait for those bases, then do that. It might be okay, it might be fine, you might not have to do anything, so don't sweat it. You can always pop them off the bases, not the end of the world. So we're looking at this model going into this. This is awesome. It is one piece. It is awesome that this is one piece. You don't get a lot of that with other miniature games. It's really clean. It's a really clean mold. Just gotta get some of these little goobers off. You don't have to get this goober, but we're going to. Then you gotta get the goober on the back of the head here. Now you don't have to glue these together because they are push fit and they push fit together really nice and firm. So maybe for more beginner painters, maybe don't glue them together because it'll help you paint them. Also, if you're just like a Gunpla purist, then don't glue it. But we are neither of those things, but it would help to paint this eyeball in here if it wasn't glued. Like, I am totally prepared to say that I messed up and glued it, because it would be a lot easier to paint if you didn't glue it. But we glue. Maybe we glue, maybe we don't. Still got a pretty good room in there to glue. And let's put his head in the spot here. And we're not using heavy glue here, so you know, it's possible that I'm not even putting enough on there for it to glue. So, you know, maybe it'll be a little happy accident. Going forward, I'm probably not going to glue them on their bases. Unless I start having problems during the painting steps, then I might paint them. I will still prime them on the bases though, because we want that same like matte finish to be on the bases, because that shiny is way too much shiny right now, for me anyway. So this is Char's Zaku 2 right now. The MS-06S says anime debut Mobile Suit Gundam 1979 is when Mobile Suit Gundam came out. So that's why I said late 70s, early 80s last time. And then they have a little, they have like a little, like, piloted by Char Aznavour. This custom red colored Zaku 2 boasts enhanced speed and output compared to standard models, earning Char the nickname the Red Comet. It's impressive mobility and triple the thrust of a regular Zaku 2 made it fearsome presence in the early battles of the 1 Year War. So that's what the first Gundam, like the conflict is called. It's called the 1 Year War. That's because it lasts 1 year. But so yeah, so if people are new to Gundam, we can give you some pronunciation help for some of these things, because some of these names are like weird and they're like, what is that? What is that? So his name is Char. That is Char, not Char. He's not Charmander. Just Char. Think of it like Cher without the E at the end. Not the musical artist Cher, but the word Cher. There's also, this is called a Zaku. Pretty easy to remember. Zaku 2. Zaku 1 is a lot, the head is different and has some more like rounded bits on it. There is not a Zaku 1 in this game as I'm familiar with so far. Well, especially not in the starter sets because it's only not even out yet. So, and then there's another one that looks like a Zaku, but it is no Zaku. For those who know, they know. It is blue, and it is called a Goof. It's like Goof Troop, like Goof, but it's spelled Gouf. It's called a Goof. And that thing's one of my favorites. It's freaking dope as heck. It has like a whip on it that is like heated. It has machine gun fingers, which is awesome. But there's a custom one in the show, the 8th MS team, the Gundam 8th MS team. It's a great one that I recommended last time. But there's a custom Goof in there, and he's got a minigun on his shield, and he has like his whip is like a different like kind of magnetic grappling hook EMP kind of situation. It's really cool. So hopefully, I'm hoping they add 8th MS team. That would be sick. I would for sure. Like the bad guys and the 8th MS team would be sick too. Because like an Easy 8 and some Gundams, and that'd be tight. But I don't know, maybe be a Goof and more Zakus. I don't know. Or maybe the flight type. Unless they add this, if they start adding big guys too, there's a number of big mobile suits called mobile armors in the Gundam series, and those are gigantic. And we've seen, for this game at least, we've seen that they do have bases. There was like an Archangel, I think, and maybe a white base that I've seen, and maybe a Musai, but so we'll have to see how that plays out, because if they add the big guys too, that would be pretty cool. Is this just a flat glue? Ooh, this is the first piece that looks like you might have to glue in, because it does not have a spot to hook. Or does it? No, it does. It does have a spot to hook in. They thought of everything. I was like, because it just had a flat hand, kind of like more traditional Space Marines and stuff. Let's clean this top of this magazine off. But it does have like a little hook that goes in there. So we can just put some glue in here. And this guy just slides in there really nicely. And we can put some glue on the hand. And we'll go back to the arm pin here. And then just slide this guy in here. Like that. And that is Char's Zaku. Char's cool. He's got like he's like the masked villain with a tragic past. That's a common trope in Gundam. There's a lot of masked villains that maybe might be the anti-hero sometimes. They have weird names. So his is the Red Comet, like we've already discussed. But there's another one from Unicorn, I think. His name is Full Frontal, which is a wild nickname. I don't know how you get that nickname. But I don't know if you're in the military and you would guess how someone would get that name. maybe it's just, you know, I mean, it's obviously a translation thing, but I think it's funny that your name is Full Frontal. Like, maybe he just likes to be in the front of combat, and that's why he's called Full Frontal. You don't have to think of, it doesn't have to be gross. It's our American mindsets. But yeah, I keep saying it, I am very impressed with these models. Like, having built tons of miniatures and just regular model kits in my day, these are very good quality. Very excited to see that they're investing in this properly and not just kind of half-assing it. Like, because they totally could. I mean, it's Gundam. People are gonna buy it. At least in Japan, they're gonna buy it. America, historically, isn't hardcore into Gundam or mechs for some reason. I don't know why. Because I am a huge mech fan. But they're right, I guess. There's another one called Zoids, not related to Gundam. It's a totally different thing. But if you like mechs, they are also cool because they are animals and people ride in them, and it's cool. Let me see how this guy goes on here. It's gonna go on this way. Head faces toward the shoulder pad, just like the instructions say. You might say that following the instructions is a good idea. So now we're gonna put this on. I'm interested to see, okay, there's none of these are on flight stands. He's got a pretty dynamic pose, and anyone that has built miniatures before will tell you that these poses are hard to glue onto bases. But these guys all have those pegs in them to hook into the bases. If that's a theme they continue throughout all of them, that would be cool, because like looking at, like, we're just comparing to Warhammer. I'm not saying that this game's better than that or blah blah blah, but Warhammer, for instance, their models, they're easy to build models, have pegs that go into bases and they can go in there, but the regular models do not have that. So when you're trying to glue them onto a base, you sometimes need super glue, or you have to drill their feet in and put the peg in yourself. It's really nice that the peg is included and part of the model, and it's thick too. It's not like a little teeny guy. It's meaty. And it's like part of the model, so it doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart. Like it would snap easy. It definitely does not give that impression. And hopefully I'm not fanboying too much for you people out there, but if I am and Bandai sees this, I am available for sponsors. I would love to be sponsored by this game. But yeah, maybe you'll change your mind when you see me paint them. You'll be like, he sucks at painting. We don't want him to be part of this. Gunpla's for everybody, and Gunpla miniature games are for everybody. So yeah, I hope this game is awesome. We don't have any rules yet or anything like that right now. These are just tokens for the card game. But there is a miniature game coming next year, allegedly. You know, who knows with how things go, and businesses change, directions change all the time. So we'll have to just hope. Oops, you got a fingerprint there. So if you get your fingerprint on this when you're painting it, you can take the Tamiya glue and just go over the top of where you touched, and that'll help flatten that back out so that you don't have a big old fingerprint on your model, because that sucks when that happens. So let's get this guy, get a hand, and we'll just clean up this. I think this is going a lot faster Then the last ones, these guys are pretty simple to put together. Maybe I was just talking too much, blabbing too much in the last video, but that is our first Zaku 2 Grunt mobile suit. These ones say, the Zaku 2 is the Principality of Zeon's main mass-produced mobile suit, featuring durable armor and high versatility. It can be equipped with the Zaku machine gun, Heat Hawk, and Zaku bazooka. It became an iconic symbol of the Zeon forces during the 1 Year War. However, it was eventually replaced by newer, more advanced machines. And that's cool. That's in the anime you can see the advancement of it. Because the how it is that they have the Zeon, they're from space. They want space superiority and believe that they are like kind of the master race. It is kind of Nazi vibes. So it's what's it called? You can see their advancement of mobile suits throughout the thing. They're the first ones to have mobile suits. So that's how they're able to get such a foothold and such a strong kind of presence in the show. So because they are the first ones to develop mobile suits, and then when the Federation comes on board, you know, like their crack at it is a lot more, I would say, like advanced, and it's more like they took their time with it. Because the Zaku is cool, but it doesn't have beam weapons, which is kind of like a big deal, because your shield, your little metal shield, isn't going to do anything once it's melted. And that's kind of what happens, is that, you know, just the technology is way more advanced on the Federation side. So then you see the Zeon kind of adapt to that, and then, you know, they start adding, you know, beam weapons to their stuff. But it's too late, right? It just comes too late. So yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of the story for you. I mean, obviously the good guys win. I mean, and it's not like, well, who is a good guy? It's pretty cut and dry. I think for this story, at least. I mean, other ones you can be like, like Gundam Wing, you can say, you know, it's a little weird what's going on, because they have like the other forces, and space is the one that's actually being in trouble this time, instead of space being the one causing the problems. But yeah. But regardless, it's still, the main characters are children thrust into war and then having to deal with all that trauma. Some of it is whiny, some of it's not whiny, depends on what you want. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be whining because they're in Gundams, but, you know, it just depends on how you look at things. It's like one of those memes that were like, me as soon as the military invents like a mobile suit, and you're like, sign me up, sign me up. Where like in reality, most of us are probably not even eligible anyway, because we're too fat, me included. I'm not calling you guys fat without calling myself fat, but you know if you are or not. Also, I'm 40, so I'm an older man. An older man. You're like, you're 40? You sound like you're not. You sound like... I tell people I'm 40 and they're like, what? You're not 40. Like, I'm sorry, I don't drink a ton of alcohol. So, and I take relatively okay care of myself. It could be debatable, though. That could be debated by others. But we'll see. How do you go in here? You go in like this. Oh, you just going straight. No, you go in like that. Okay. It's not straight. It goes in sideways. And then this one goes here. Let me just pop this leg in there. Ah. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos, and hopefully me building them and talking about them has gotten you kind of interested in potentially playing this game if you haven't heard of Gundam Assemble. And if you're coming from Gundam and don't know anything about miniature games, well, you buckle up, because you're gonna love it. And I like that it's an official one. I've seen a lot of like fan games trying to get like a mobile suit type game off the ground, and they play with like the big scale models of Gundam. I just never, the rules are always so bogged down. Like a lot of people, when they make games not professionally and they try to make their own, they put a lot of rules in it because they think it's cool, but for the sake of the game, it slows it down a lot. I think there's a lot to be said for being able to simplify things and make it more streamlined for the game and still have a like low barrier to entry but high skill ceiling to where you can grow and, you know, learn how to play the game and be like the best at it. That's just my thought, coming from, you know, my point of view of where I work and how the industry, I work in the game industry, been in the game industry for a long time. So that's just my point of view. And it's like, it's easy. A lot of people can pie in the sky design, right? And just say, wouldn't it be cool if, but it's really hard to actually execute on those visions and really keep it manageable, especially if you're new to it. You know, try not going all out right away and keeping it simple, at least initially, because you want to be able to have some tangible goals along the way. I don't know how we got into this kind of talk, but here we are. Back to robots. But yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I hope that I can become your source for Gundam news and info once we get more for this game, because I'm going all in. I'm going to buy everything because this has been my hyperfixation for a very, very long time, and now I can play miniatures with it. So it's like my two hyperfixations come together. So that's a big problem. That's gonna be a big problem for my wallet. So if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe get me a partnership or something on here, that would be great. But that's our last Sakutu. So yeah, that was the Zeon's Rush Starter Set. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.